But for those who like to give sisters advice about them wearing hijab and how they should and shouldn't be wearing hijab, there is one contribution that I thought I can make. Asalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. I pray that you are all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I make Islam and lifestyle videos. So if you're interested in that kind of content, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and join our family. So inshallah today, guys, you've already seen by the title, it's going to be a hijab or the conditions of hijab video. This video is not intended to attack my sisters for the way they choose to or not to wear hijab. The purpose of this video is to educate my fellow sisters out there and to remind myself, also because I am on a journey of trying to take my hijab journey to the next level. I've noticed that in the past, let's say 5 years, I've kind of stagnated in terms of my hijab growth. And there are definitely areas that I would like to improve on. So as I go on this journey, I would like to take you guys with me so we can support one another in reaching basically to a point where we are fulfilling all the conditions of hijab, even to the point where we're fulfilling the things that are also liked, not just the things that are necessary. So I hope that you guys get inspired by the end of this video, and I hope it reminds you and helps you to kickstart your hijab journey once more and take it also to the next level. So without further ado, girls, let's begin today's video. So of course what I'm going to be sharing is according to what I know, and I would definitely encourage you to do your own research as well to confirm everything that I say in this video so that you can be sure, because this is an aspect to do with your deen and you definitely want to be getting it from authentic sources. What I would like to say before getting into the conditions of hijab is that, as you guys saw at the beginning and intro of this video, the verse in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, to instruct his wives and his daughters and the believing women, we are the believing women, to draw our veils over our bosoms, right? So wearing hijab is something that is a must for us as believing women, and something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has instructed for us to do. So if nothing else that I say in this video makes absolute any sense to you, if you are wearing hijab, let it be that the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructs you to do it should be enough of a reason for you to do it, if nothing else makes sense. Having said that, guys, let's get into the conditions of hijab. So Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah, who was a major scholar, stated the 8 conditions of hijab. The first one being that it must cover the entire body except for that which is apparent. Now, this is where there is, as far as I know, to my knowledge, a difference of opinion, where some people believe that wearing niqab and also gloves for your hands is compulsory, whilst others believe that it is not compulsory. So there are 2 schools of thought here, but in whichever case you take, it is highly desirable and highly liked and highly encouraged that you should also cover your hands and your face. So it should inshallah look something like this, where an entire body is covered, and as you can also see, my feet are covered. So yeah, that is the ideal. The second condition of hijab is that it should not be an adornment in and of itself, which means it shouldn't be something that is like flashy and attractive and something that is going to draw the attention from the opposite sex onto you, because obviously you're trying to protect your modesty here. So whatever you wear shouldn't be like flashy and loud. So it shouldn't have all these pearls and beautification stuff that we have covered all over our abayas, let's be honest, right? It shouldn't really have stuff like that on it. So that is the second condition of hijab, is that it should not be an adornment in and of itself. It's supposed to conceal the beautification of a woman and not to reveal it or to gain the attraction of men. The third condition of hijab is that it should be thick and not see-through. Now I know I'm showing clips here of just hijabs, but it was the only kind of demonstrations I could use. But I'm not just talking about headscarf here, I'm talking about your entire outer garment should not be something that is see-through clearly, because again, you are trying to conceal and not reveal. The fourth condition of hijab here is that it should not be tight and it should not reveal the shape of the woman's body. Now girls, I know Curvy sisters, I know, okay, the struggle is real, but that is one of the conditions, is that we must try our best to make sure that the shape of our body is not defined or shown. That is why, you know, chuck away those leggings, throw away them jeans. If you want, you can wear them at home, or you can wear them underneath your, you know, jilbab, but just make sure that whatever your outer garment is, it's not tight and it's not revealing the shape of your body. The fifth condition is that it should not be perfumed. I'm sure even if you're a non-Muslim watching this, you kind of get the gist of where we're going here. Basically, you're trying to avoid anything that you're going to do that is going to attract a non-mahram to you, basically. Okay, now I know people have the argument of, oh, but if you're not attractive, then how are you ever going to find a husband? That's an argument for another day, okay? Basically, perfumes outside of the home is a no-no, okay? It's not allowed. Don't do it. Save all your perfumes and all of that for inside of the house. I like to wear perfumes when I'm in the house. If I know that I've just come back from work and I'm not going out again after that, I can wear perfume because I know that I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to have a shower and I'm going to wear a completely different set of clothes, so the smell's not going to be like lingering on me. So you are allowed to wear perfumes, just not on your hijab. So you can't just like put your jilbab on and be like, oh, this smells funny a bit, let me just give it like a nicer wash of my favorite scented perfume. No, okay? No perfumes allowed on top of your hijab, or in any part of your body. As you're leaving the house, you're not allowed to have perfume on. And I believe that there is a hadith stating that a woman who walks out of the house and has perfumed herself in order to gain attraction from men, she is a fornicator. So we're not about that life, girls. So we just gonna leave the perfumes in the house. The sixth condition here is that it should not resemble the clothing of men. And another hadith on this is actually that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has cursed the men who imitate the women and the women who imitate the men. And the seventh condition is that it should not resemble the dressing of the disbelievers. Again, we have our own mode of dressing in Islam. We have our lovely jilbabs and abayas and stuff like that, so that we may be recognized as believing women, right? People shouldn't be confused as to whether or not we're Muslims. So whenever we wear hijab, we should just try to stick to our own tradition, the tradition of Islam. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you can't wear your own traditional clothes. As long as your own traditional clothes fulfills the conditions of hijab, that's perfectly fine. This is not an attack on anybody's tradition or saying you just have to adopt the Arabic way of dressing. Just make sure that you try to avoid dressing in a way that imitates the disbelievers. And the last condition of hijab is that it should not be clothing of fame and vanity. Now, of course, Allah is beautiful and He loves beautiful things, and that doesn't mean that you can't wear beautiful clothes in the right, you know, environments or in the right scenario. But just going to buy something just because it has a name brand tag on it, it's not because it's even a good quality. Like, I heard of this example, like say for example you saw a t-shirt that cost £5 and then you had a Nike t-shirt. They are equally as good in quality, they are equally, you know, they fit you equally as well, they measure exactly the same in all aspects that you need for that shirt to be in. However, one is Nike and the other one has no name brand. You just buying the Nike, what you buying? You're just buying a brand for what? Just to show off to people that you can afford certain brands. Do you know what I mean? So we have to be careful not to buy clothes or wear clothes just for the sake of being vain. And I understand that sometimes there is a need. Sometimes if you spend a little bit more money on a certain or a particular brand, you expect a particular quality in that particular brand, and that's fine, you know. It's just according to what is affordable for you. Someone is a millionaire and they spend £1,000 on a dress, it's nothing to them, versus someone who only earns £1,000 a month and spends that whole £1,000 a month on a one dress just because it has a particular, you know, connotations to it. There is a hadith that states that whoever wears a piece of clothing or a garment for fame and for showing off, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will on the day of judgment cover him in humiliation, and that garment will be set ablaze. Having said all of this, I am not trying to say that you need to go out looking like a piece of rag just so to avoid brothers trying to approach you or non-mahram looking at you. That is not what I'm saying. It is within the etiquette of a Muslim to maintain a clean and tidy, you know, look within of themselves, right? But what we need to avoid is extravagance, and what we need to avoid is, you know, things that we will do that may attract non-mahrams to us or pull those with a disease in their hearts closer to us. So that is basically what these conditions of hijab are set out to do. They are set out to protect us. So I hope that you guys have learned a thing or two from them. So those are the 8 conditions of physical hijab for sisters. Now, having stated all of this, when I was going through these conditions, I was literally checking myself and thinking, what am I doing and what am I not doing that I should be doing, and how can I improve? Because for the past, let's say about 5 years, I've kind of found myself like stagnated in terms of my hijab progression, and I really want to try my best to take it to the next level now. And a level that I feel is suitable for me, but I'm going to take it step by step. I've never been the type of person just to be able to literally jump into something, because when I just jump into something, I jump straight back out of it just as fast as I jumped into it. So if you haven't already heard my hijab story, I have a video in it, you can check it out if you want to. But I'm a kind of person, I like to take things step by step, and for me, I have found that that has worked best for me. And in that way, I tend to stick to the things that I commit myself to. So maybe watch this video again, review yourself and see where you're currently at. Which parts of these conditions are you already fulfilling, and which parts would you like to work on now? If it's a thing of, you know, your covering is fine, but you have an issue with wearing perfume, see how you can wean yourself off that. Honestly, guys, if you can just go ham and just take everything out and just do it the proper way, I would encourage you to do so. Why would I encourage you to do so? Because no one knows when they're gonna die. So if you have an intention to do good and you're able to do it, go. So if your issue right now is like leggings with dresses, you might want to cut out the leggings with dresses and maybe go for like plazo, what are they called? Those really baggy trousers and a top. And then from there, go from like a skirt and a top. And from there, you can go to an abaya and hijab, and then from there you can go work your way into a jilbab. Okay, but like I said, if you feel like you can go straight into jilbab, go for it. But as a woman, and knowing our struggles and knowing, especially for us in the Western world and the difficulties that we go through, my best advice would be take it step by step. Now, clearly there is an issue in our modern times. Let's be honest, majority of people, especially on social media, who are wearing hijab aren't wearing hijab the correct way, myself included. I haven't even fulfilled all of these all of these 8 conditions yet, right? So everyone is going through their own struggles. But for those who like to give sisters advice about them wearing hijab and how they should and shouldn't be wearing hijab, there is one contribution that I feel that I can make that I think you guys really need to pay attention to. And that is what I have found from my experience and from speaking to other sisters, is that when more core aspects of the deen is established in a sister's heart, the issue of wearing hijab just comes so naturally. Like, you don't even need to convince her to wear hijab. I have certain sisters who are like, you know what, I've really been trying to get closer to Allah now, and I've been doing a lot, but I feel bad inside that I'm not wearing hijab yet. And it's that feeling, like that uncomfortable feeling, that nagging feeling inside of you when you know there's something you should be doing and you're not doing, that starts to grow, and before you know it, they just go ahead and put hijab on. You don't even have to be there screaming and shouting at them, telling them astaghfirullah, fear Allah. You won't have to do that when the core aspects of the deen is established in their hearts. And I think this is something that we really need to reflect back upon, because the verses of wearing hijab were, you know, came a lot further on in the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, versus, you know, verses of praying salah and establishing, you know, other areas of the deen. So we really must look at that, and I think that if you can help any sister out there focus, or if you really want to get to the deep cause of her not wearing hijab, if you look at her core beliefs and her core knowledge and application of the deen, her basic and foundational aspects of the deen, you will start to notice that there are lots of things that are missing there, and therefore it's going to make a lot more sense why wearing hijab is now such an issue. That's not to say that other sisters who have established their deen in other areas are not struggling with hijab, but it's an observation that I have made. So I would say that instead of attacking our sisters and, you know, coming across really harsh, I don't think this technique has worked. It may work for some people, but for the majority of our youth, I think it is just pushing them away. We need to support one another and find, you know, authentic sources ways of teaching our fellow brothers, because hijab applies to brothers and sisters as well, and also just making sure that the foundation of the deen is established within their hearts. So I hope, inshallah, as I've said before, this video will inspire you to take your hijab game to the next level, see which areas you can improve upon. Inshallah, we all want to reach the stage where we are all fulfilling absolutely all the 8 conditions that are here. Please, let's support one another. Let's not attack one another, because nobody on the surface of this earth is perfect. If you are wearing hijab and you fulfill all these 8 conditions, I'm sure there is another area of the deen that you could also be working on. So nobody is perfect. Let's not attack one another. Let's support one another, okay? And brothers, you really have no clue how hard it is, especially for curvy sisters, to keep it 100% covered, okay? It is so hard. It's so hard. But we're going to try for the sake of Allah, aren't we, sisters? So that is today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope it has inspired you, as it is inspiring myself as well. So just take it from where you are, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps you in your journey. Whatever you do, sisters, do it for the sake of Allah and not for anybody else. Nobody else deserves it except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? He is all that matters. However, when someone advises you in the way of good, just take it and admit to it. Jazakallah khair, guys, for watching. Inshallah, I will see you in my next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.